Shifting focus for now, West Asia is on the boil. For the first time, a Houthi missile reached central Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu is fuming. The Israeli Prime Minister, in fact, has said Israel would inflict a heavy price on the Iran-aligned Houthis. So what do we know about the attack? According to the Houthi military spokesman, Yahya Saraya, the group struck with a new hypersonic ballistic missile that traveled 2,040 kilometers or 1,270 miles in just 11 and a half minutes. What about Israel? What has it said? After initially saying the missile had fallen in an open area, Israel's military later said it had probably fragmented in the air. Nobody was reported hurt. Air raid sirens had sounded in Tel Aviv and across central Israel moments before the impact at around 6:35 a.m. local time, sending residents running for shelter. Loud booms were heard. There were no direct casualties, but 9 people were lightly hurt while seeking cover. But the thing is, the symbolism, the messaging is of extreme significance here. How will Israel react this time around is the big question. What will its response be? Let's just step back a little and look at the bigger picture here. You see, since the Gaza war started in October, the Houthis have fired missiles and drones at Israel repeatedly in what they say is solidarity with the Palestinians. The drone that hit Tel Aviv for the first time in July killed a man and injured 4 people. Israeli airstrikes in response on Houthi military targets near the port of Hodeidah killed 6 and wounded 80. Previously, Houthi missiles have not penetrated deep into Israeli airspace, with the only one reported to have hit Israeli territory falling in an open area near the Red Sea port of Eilat in March. So the latest move is an escalation, to say the least, and has sent tensions in the region skyrocketing. The Houthis, by the way, are warning that there is more to come. According to the Houthi spokesperson, Israel should expect more strikes in the future. The deputy head of the Houthis media office has said in a post on X that the missile had reached Israel after 20 missiles failed to intercept it, describing it as the beginning. The Israeli military also said that 40 projectiles were fired towards Israel from Lebanon on Sunday and were either intercepted or landed in open areas. The thing is, this is a missile strike that has far-reaching implications. Saudi Arabia, for that matter, is jittery. It is asking for more to be done to constrain the supply of weapons to the Houthis. With the Houthis using advanced weapons, the Red Sea region faces increasing threats. Just for context here, Saudi Arabia, which supports the Yemen government opposing the Houthis, believes that Iran has been arming the group. Not just that, for Israel, this latest attack triggers a series of crucial questions about the country's air defense system. Is the country being overwhelmed by these attacks? Has this attack exposed Israel's weakness, leaving Netanyahu red-faced? And that's not even all. There's something else which has left Netanyahu deeply embarrassed. On Sunday, the Israeli military said that there was a high probability that 3 hostages found dead months ago were killed in an Israeli airstrike. You heard that right. The army announced the conclusions of its investigation into the deaths. It said investigations had determined that the 3 were likely killed in a November airstrike that also killed a senior Hamas leader. All 3 of the hostages were kidnapped in Hamas's October 7 attack. Their bodies were recovered in December, but the cause of the death was only recently determined. In fact, in its report, the army said there was a high probability they were killed in the strike based on where the bodies were recovered, pathological reports, and other intelligence. But it said it is not possible to definitely determine the circumstances of their deaths. This could not have come at a worse time for Netanyahu. Remember, the anger on the ground shot up further when late last month Israel recovered the bodies of 6 hostages that it says were killed by Hamas shortly before the Israeli forces arrived. The army's announcement is the first time it has linked the deaths of hostages to airstrikes. The conclusions only add further pressure on Netanyahu to strike a deal to bring home the remaining hostages held by Hamas. Critics say it's too difficult and dangerous to try and rescue them. But the big question remains, will Netanyahu do that? To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.